All right, everybody. Welcome to game 2, Davin versus Turdy. We saw in the first game I just went a blink stalker build with 4 gateways and was able to blink up onto Davin's cliff using a hallucinated Colossus, and it worked out really good. I expanded behind it, but didn't actually end up needing to use the expansion. I was able to kill him in that just one attack. I kind of mentioned it earlier before, but I think I might have had a little bit of advantage because he thought I might be going Dark Templars based on my multiplayer play and based on some comments on Facebook as well. The real reason I think that is because of the missile turrets that came up, as well as the Raven that came out very early. So I'm not sure about that. We can ask Davin, but maybe he was thinking I'm going to go Dark Templars, but end up not going Dark Templars. Not really my favorite in 1v1, but sometimes I do go for that. So we'll see. See you next week. Anyway, this is the second game here. Davin's going to look for some revenge here. As you can see, it's pretty much my standard build. Just go for 1 gateway and then send out my scouting probe. And then add on a gas as soon as I have 70. Davin also opting for sending out a pretty early scouting SCV. Doesn't want any funny business. I'm a little afraid of the little barracks pressure here, so that's why I kind of set the scout down here, but a proxy barracks, but I kind of decided against that and thought that was maybe a silly play. I'm also checking up here for any proxy barracks, which usually it's smart to check here PvP in case somebody's hiding a proxy pylon, but I don't know why I did that for this Terran matchup. Just trying to play real safe. So the build I like to do against Terran on this map is try to take advantage of when the Terran expands to this base and use this backdoor hallway in order to kind of have a sneak attack as soon as they expand out here. So pretty much my plan is try to get out 1 or 2 immortals before they expand, and usually that works very well against bunkers. You can see here, I don't think I go for a sentry first, but I might have. It just depends on the build, the timing of the gas, but it's not as crucial for me to get a sentry out here first because I'm not going for hallucination. Davin just keeping his SCV out here in case he can see any quick attacks. Already getting 2 Marines out, adding on a second barracks. He has that tech lab up, but not really researching anything off there, just getting a Marauder out instead. Still on 1 gas. Send out a quick stalker here. I figured that it's usually pretty safe to send out a stalker. He can usually get away. If a Marauder catches him though, it usually is trouble, but against any Marines, the stalker can quickly run away. So I just do a little bit of scouting here, making sure there's no kind of quick Marine pressure coming my way. If there is, I can prepare for it. At the same time, I snuck out my probe here. I don't think Davin saw that, but this probe is going to be building a proxy pylon up here in order to warp in a lot of units for this attack when I do see Davin try to expand. And I kind of get this SCV for free. So here I finally get a sentry out for any force fields in case there is any early infantry pressure. Get out 2 gates and pretty much just keep on producing probes. You can see I'm already stopping producing probes at this point, which is a mistake. Something I need to work on for sure is just keep putting on probes. And here you do see my proxy pylon go down. So Davin decides to send out a little bit of early pressure here. He is researching concussive shells, but they aren't quite going to finish in time, I don't think. And this amount of pressure isn't that much. I can deal with it pretty easily, particularly if I get a force field down. So 2 stalkers against this should work pretty well if I can get a good force field. And I need a force field a little bit quicker here. And Davin, if he wanted to, could still attack up this ramp. That force field wasn't good, but he opts to back off. I'm able to warp in 2 more stalkers immediately, so my force is a lot stronger than his, and I try to chase him down here, see if he's still out there, but he smartly runs away. Doesn't want any more damage. here I get my robo facility out. So I feel that this build is pretty good. 3 gateways and a robo. It's pretty safe. As you can see, his pressure is stopped, and I'm able to get enough units out in order to deflect any pressure with these sentries. And I do like to get this observer out first in order to see what he's up to, and then immediately after get the immortal out. And this is a little bit riskier than I usually play, to send out my whole army first. If he did do a stim timing, he could trap those units pretty easily, but luckily he didn't. Because he does have the concussive shell, he could slow down any retreating units and take them out pretty easily. But because I have 2 sentries, I feel pretty confident because I can force field and run away if he does have too many units. Realistically, I should just wait for this observer probably, because it's cloaked. Can't really see it. But based on what this observer sees, I see that he's going to start expanding pretty soon. So I start rallying units up here immediately, and do get this one immortal out. A second immortal on the way, rallied up to this pylon. I see the command center going out right now, so this is my timing that I like to go for. So I don't wait for that second immortal. I use this probe to build a little bit closer of a proxy pylon so I can warp in more units. And this is the timing that I want exactly. So the command center's landed, only 1 bunker up, so that works very well to my advantage, and I try to get this attack going right before that second bunker goes up. 2 bunkers is a little tougher to deal with than 1, obviously, but he does get a missile turret out and get rid of my vision, but I've beat this bunker pretty well. First 1 bunker, I'm really confident, especially with 1 immortal against so many, and just a couple force fields to split up his forces. Does pretty well. These Marauders lose a few shots because of it. And so at this point, I'm feeling really good. My attack worked just as I wanted it to. This is pretty much my standard play against Terran on this map. Usually the timing works out just right. So at this point, I feel afraid that there's bunkers up here and that I'll lose too many of these forces because there are some in the red if I go up there. But in actuality, it looks like I could have won the game at this point, but I just didn't go for it. So instead, it looks like I'm sending out this probe to build my expansion immediately. I feel like I'm well ahead at this point, and based on the supply, I am. The problem here is that I'm still only, I'm only on about 25 probes, where if I was constantly building them, I'd have well over 30. You can see Davin has 32 SCVs, and I even killed quite a few of those. So it's a mistake. Something I need to work on my game particularly is keep pumping out probes while I'm attacking, while I'm building up an army as well, so that I can have enough to immediately populate this. You see Davin does scout my expansion going up, so he can feel a little bit safe at this point because he did scout my expansion, that I'm not going to have another army, a strong army push anytime in the near future because of that. I'm not sure what I'm doing with this. Maybe just taking a Zelnaga watchtower. You can see Davin uses a few SCVs for defense as he comes out. See if I am still kind of hanging around his base, but I'm not. And feels he can safe to expand again. This time putting up 2 quick bunkers. He's got to feel pretty nervous based on my attack last time. He doesn't have a missile turret out, so you might think I have vision, but I don't. I probably should be getting another observer, and I do here have another observer coming out, but it's not as a base or anything. Here I decided to go for Colossus. I feel like I'm well ahead on 2 bases, so it's time to start pumping out Colossus. And I do get this ground armor one and put up 2 more gateways. So I'll be on 5 gateways, 1 robotics facility, and start pumping out Colossus. And this makes a really strong army against Terran because of that Colossus. So once I get a couple of Colossus, I'll feel comfortable attacking again. Hopefully I use this observer to scout up. I'm not quite sure. Let's see. Yeah, I don't have vision of his base, but just because I have 2 bases up, I'm feeling pretty confident right now. I should be producing more probes. This is one of my problems. But here you can see my first Colossus coming out. And Davin scans this. Not exactly what he sees in that scan. just kind of the position of my army. Catches a few of them here, so should feel a little safer because he knows my army's not near him yet. He does get a couple Vikings out, so he does predict pretty well that I am going for Colossus and plans accordingly. He is getting siege tanks out at this point, as well as upgrading his infantry with combat shield. I'm getting 2 more gas, so at the same time I'm getting the extended thermal lance, which really helps protect the Colossus because they can shoot so far. I'm not sure what this probe is up to. So right now I have 1 Immortal, 1 Colossus. Probably should wait for a second Colossus, but I still have it rallied to this wrong point here. I'm leaving some of my forces behind here, which is a mistake. I think Greg pointed out that I'm not using any hotkeys for my army, which is a mistake, but just something else I need to work on. I do take out these destructible rocks, so I plan to expand here right after my next attack. Usually I like to attack and then expand behind it. I feel pretty safe about that. And then if I need to cancel it, I know because based on the result of the battle. So it's pretty safe to do that. Let's see what the production. Let's see. Davin's up to 49 SCVs versus 41 probes. So I've